Hey everyone, this is Deborah and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be working on my home journal. It's been a minute since I did anything on it, but I thought it was time to get back to it. So here's the new one that I've been creating, and this is the old one that I've created it from, and I've been pulling things out of it. So I was just looking through to see what pages that we were going to do today. So I think that I'm going to do this one here, which is house number 14. I just have to make sure that I leave myself enough room because I'm not really doing them in order as such. But I'm sure that's 12, and then I've got 13 I could do here, and so I think I'm going to do 14 in here. So I don't like this paper. I thought it was going to be okay when I put it in. I like the squares, but I don't really like the top part of it, so I'm going to cover that up and also probably cover, yeah, that's just one page, so I'll cover the back of this one as well. What I do like about this is I've got this photo on here, so this is a place where I didn't have a home for a little while, and I thought that I would use that as my page in the album, or at least some of it. I do have some writing on the back for house 15, but I have already taken a photo of that because that's going to get stuck down. This paper is just paper, and it's from memory it was quite thin, so I don't want to try and peel it off, so I'm just going to peel this away. Yeah. Okay, so we'll put that away, and I'll see what I can do. Now the other thing I want to use today is these gorgeous little puzzle pieces. A lovely lady gave me these, and I'm really chuffed that she also gave me this beautiful handmade paper. I'm very spoiled. Isn't it just divine? Look at the gorgeous colours. That one's beautiful too. I probably want to stick to something in these colour tones, so maybe this one I think would be the best. What I think I'll do is I'm going to cut this one down. Yeah, it's good. It's got some writing on here, so I know where it was, and I'm thinking that I'll cut it down. It's not going to fit on the page if I don't. Now I want to get rid of this. Yeah, I think so. I'm going to use some of this line paper. Going to hide some of that. It's also going to give a really nice edge to the page, so it's not going to be a hard edge. Got my little number 14 out of my countdown brads. I'll have to write to Tim and tell him that I want another set, but these only go to 31. Could he please do some more, 32 to whatever I buy them. I don't know if anyone else would, but I certainly would. I might put this up here, I think, before I stick it down. I've decided not to use the puzzle pieces on this particular page because I've actually gone to my atlas, one of my old atlases that I chop up, and I found the place that I was living at the time. So I've decided on this page I'm going to put the map, and then I can put some other things on top of it. And I've also got this beautiful old envelope. It's lovely, isn't it? I'm going to put it onto the page like that as well, so it actually overlaps the map, but you can flip it over and look at it. Every time I see an atlas in a second-hand shop or an op shop, I have to buy it. My husband actually bought me a real atlas for Christmas a couple of years ago, which in these days of technology, and I do love my technology, it was quite a strange thing, but I actually asked him for it because I wanted a paper atlas that I could look through and, touch and pore over and run my hand along the roads and things. I'm just making sure that that's in the right place. Now, I could stick it down on there like that, but I prefer to lay it on the opposite side. I just find that it's easier, that it just seems to work better for me, and then lay the other piece down over the top. Yes, now I've got a little bit sticking out here, and I'm probably not going to trim that off yet. I'll do that if I need to later, but when I do this page I might put something down there, so I'm not going to worry about that. In fact, I am going to put something down there anyway, because I'm putting this envelope on here, and then I can put a little message inside the envelope, a little hidden message, a story about why I didn't have a house. So this was in the census time, in the 1986 census, and I had to put down on that I had no fixed address. So my children and I were homeless, which is amazing when I think back to where I am now. So I've got, this is a Marby marker, a Le Plume. I haven't used these for years, but I recently bought some because I really like them. They've got a brush end, sorry, this way. They've got a brush end on one end, and then they've got this gorgeous fine point writer on the other end. And this colour is called olive green. I think that it will go okay on here. I'm just going to test it. Take that off because I won't be needing that. Going to test it on this piece. Yeah, it actually blends in really well. You can see it, but it fits with the way that the colour is. Put a bit of stuff back on that so it doesn't get stuck too much. And I'm using my stamps. These are Tim Holtz Ideology stamps. And I was just trying to think, they're just called Type Lower. So they're a foam cling stamp, and they're this lovely vintage font, which I thought was really nice. Now I'm thinking that it's got a postmark on it. Can't see what date it is, but I could put more postmarks on there. So I'm just going to grab the stamps and do that while I've got everything out. I'm just using ground espresso, and I'm just going to put another stamp somewhere on the page, grunge it up a bit. And I've also got these splotchy things here, which I'll use. Some splotches on it, won't hurt. Make it a bit grungy, and put another stamp on there. And I think that that's probably enough on that page. Excellent. Okay, well, this is Deborah. Thanks for joining me, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.